It's been a little while since my boy Spooked uploaded, but listen, y'all, he had some complications with his channel, and he started a new channel. If you like horror content and want to support these guys, it's imperative that you go to this new channel and subscribe, guys. His link is going to be in the description below. He is still one of my favorite narrators of horror content by far. This one today is cruise ship horror stories. We're going to react to it. Make sure to subscribe to Spooked. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one. It's good to have you back, Spooked. Very good to have you back, man. I missed your stories.
Very busy. So when I finally had a break from work, I decided to spend time with my girlfriend.
Heck yeah.
We always had
ship?
a calendar of things we wanted to do.
I've never been.
It'd be nice to go on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So we did.
I hear they fun.
Finding a nice week-long cruise trip, going from Chesapeake Bay to Florida.
Oh yeah.
When we got on the ship, everything
cruise
was perfectly fine until we started noticing some odd things.
Okay.
Here and there. We were outside enjoying the view of the sea before we decided to go inside and check out our room for the week. Upon entering our room, the bed was rough and undone, as though someone had sat on it.
Okay.
This wasn't really a concern though. It was just a little confusing.
Right.
But that wasn't all. On the second night, just a few minutes past midnight, me and my girlfriend were sleeping.
Yeah.
I heard the door of our room gently creaking.
Somebody has a key to your room? Or is it
I'm a light sleeper,
the staff?
And the noise got to the point where it started freaking me out.
Well, sure.
So I quickly stood up and walked over to the door, only to meet the door wide open.
Huh.
This was very strange, as I distinctly remember my girlfriend saying she was going to lock the door for the night. And
y'all don't
I
use
even saw her do it.
The flip thing?
At this point,
I used the flip thing,
I started
man.
thinking someone definitely had the key to our room.
Yeah.
I looked at my girlfriend. She was fast asleep.
Right.
I went to the door, locked it, and went back to bed. But I couldn't sleep.
Oh, I guess
I was
not, man.
at alert all night.
I would
just
be
to make sure
freaked
we were
out
safe
too.
In the room.
Yeah.
At sunrise, I told my girlfriend that we'd be changing rooms on the ship, and she obviously agreed with me.
Yeah.
After explaining everything
If that's
to her.
possible.
Now, what I'm about to tell you occurred a little later in the week.
Right.
Basically, my girlfriend was very active on social media, especially Instagram.
Oh.
She had an app that tracked everything that happened on her account.
I see where
people
this is
who
going.
Visited her profile. She told me that she noticed someone had checked her profile 10 times we got on the cruise.
Oh, we got a stalker.
I told her to show me the account that viewed her profile. She clicked on the profile, and it looked to be an older man, possibly in his 40s.
All right.
We slowly came to notice that he had multiple pictures of himself on the cruise ship we were staying at, which immediately became quite concerning for the both of us.
You would think
we
if somebody had that stalker mentality,
he might be permanently living on the ship, or he was one of the staff, because he doesn't look too suspicious.
Right.
I didn't want her panicking, so I told her to just forget about him, because there's creeps everywhere.
Yeah.
Upon going to the reception, I asked the receptionist if we could change rooms, to which she told me getting a new room will have to be processed, and it might take some time.
Sure.
She said I wasn't going to get a refund for the room, and might have to pay extra for the new room. I didn't mind, and I told her to get us a new room as soon as possible.
Right.
I became
safety
more
is not
alert
really
after these strange little things. And to be honest, I couldn't wait for the ship to go back to shore so we could get the hell out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, safety is not something you can really budget,
I
man.
left my girlfriend in the room to eat breakfast.
Okay.
As she said she was feeling a bit under the weather.
Okay.
So she wanted to stay in the room instead. I told her I would bring her breakfast, so she'd rest well. I first headed to the receptionist to ask her about my request for a new room.
Sure.
Because I expected to have gotten feedback.
Somebody's gonna
She
go in
told
that room
me
with her.
it would be ready in a couple of hours, and that she would contact our room as soon as everything is ready. I went ahead to get my breakfast. I was too hungry to walk back to our room, so I ate mine at the table in the main area. When I got back to the room, I came to find the door slightly ajar, and my girlfriend in the bathroom. I called her name, just to make sure everything was fine.
Was it
But she
her?
didn't answer.
Uh-oh. Problem.
I thought she didn't hear me, so I got closer to the door and called her name a little louder. But there was no reply still.
Oh, there's a serious problem here.
I went for the door handle, but it was locked.
Yep.
I called her number. Her phone wasn't ringing inside the room, which made me even more disturbed than anything.
Yeah.
But fortunately, she picked up. I asked her where she was, to which she told me she was feeling better, and she stepped out of the room to look for me.
Uh-oh.
It all clicked at that moment, and I quickly backed away from the bathroom door.
He's in the bathroom.
I didn't know who was in the bathroom, and I most definitely wasn't interested in checking.
Dude, call
I couldn't tell her someone
security.
was literally in her bathroom because she'd freak out.
Yeah.
So instead, I told her to wait for me where she was. I quietly and quickly packed our luggage and left the room. I didn't know if the person was stalking my girlfriend or maybe the both of us.
Bruh.
I don't even want to think about what my girlfriend was in the room when the person stepped in.
That's crazy.
Luckily, we got a new room on the top floor, and nothing else happened from there. Or maybe we just didn't notice, which freaks me out to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Not to mention the obvious,
nuts.
but that was the last time we went on a cruise ship.
Yeah. You kind of trapped on a boat, you know? That's the whole weird thing about cruises. I'm sure most of the cases
when
are
I
fine,
was just a girl. It was my dream to go on the Disney cruise
Disney
ship.
Wish.
I had begged my parents for years to let me go, but they were always skeptical about leaving me alone without monitoring. I had tried everything possible to make them change their minds, but they always refused until my aunt came over to our house one day,
Parents
saying
are just
that she was going to be taking her daughter on the Disney cruise trip.
Okay.
I used that opportunity to plead and let my aunt talk to my parents into letting me go.
I mean, it is your aunt, so
they accepted.
Right.
When we got there, it was everything I hoped for and more.
Yeah.
I met many kids my age. It was very easy for me to make friends, and I did make new ones. I met a lot of adults there, but there was one man that stood out.
It's always a freak,
he was one of the animators named Luis.
Let's
just say, at the beginning, I thought he was a little creepy.
Okay.
It wasn't about his appearance or anything, but more so how he looked
the way
at
he
me.
acted. Oh.
I tried to shake it off because I thought maybe it was part of his job to look after kids.
Yeah.
So I got a bad gut feeling at that moment.
Yeah, if you do, you gotta trust you.
After even a while, I would still catch him looking at me. However, he eventually walked up to me and greeted me in the nicest way possible. He said he apologized for staring at me creepily and said it was more like an interview, which even to this day I don't know what that meant. I chalked it up to him being Latino and not so fluent in English.
Okay,
but
all right,
he
I
then
get
said
you.
there was a princess-themed after-party for special girls like me, and that I got an invite. I was super overjoyed because it was at that time I was really into princesses.
That sounds terribly
He told me to keep it a secret though, and that they don't want the news flying around.
No.
Left and completely stopped looking at me.
Horrible.
He was very exciting and charismatic in the way he was expressing himself.
Of course.
Which made me grow up to like him over the coming days.
That's because he's a perv.
I went to go ask my cousin if anyone had given her an exclusive invitation to a surprise party, but she said no one had told her anything. I know Louise, the animator, told me to keep it a secret.
Right.
But I couldn't really shake the feeling that something was
up.
off about this surprise party. I went ahead to ask everyone I made friends with if they had gotten an invite. But again, no one heard anything.
No.
At the time, if the
Calling
party
out
was
Louise.
really happening, I really didn't want it to be canceled or anything like that.
Right.
So I told them not to tell anyone else because
Okay.
it was a surprise and the organizers didn't want anyone to be there. It was time for bed, and as much as I tried, I couldn't sleep.
You was excited
Every bone
for
in
your
my
little
body
party.
didn't want to leave my room, but I was also very curious.
Of course.
I wasn't alone in my room, so I sneaked out as quietly as I could. And if this surprise party was true, it wouldn't be cool if I brought people that weren't invited. What if it was true and I missed a party? I thought. So I got up from my bed and headed for the place he told me the party was going to be at. The entire ship was quiet.
Sure.
And there was no trace of any party so far. But I thought maybe that was why it was a surprise. It was going to be discreet. I got to the place and I saw nobody except Louis the animator, who was quite literally sitting in the jacuzzi alone at the far end of the pool.
Oh my god.
He smirked and gave me a look that signaled he was very glad to see me.
No.
Glad to the point that it felt a little creepy.
Yeah, of course.
He said that he had been waiting for me and asked me what took so long.
Oh my god.
I was a little disturbed seeing him alone. I wanted to ask him where everybody was.
Just turn around and run away.
That I already knew the answer.
Yep.
He dived into the pool and started swimming towards me.
No.
I didn't know what to do.
Run away.
So I turned around quietly and started speed walking away.
Yes.
He noticed I was walking away, so he swam faster and climbed out of the pool. I didn't want to make a scene, so I walked as fast as I could.
You didn't want to make a scene, girl.
But he was now walking towards me
Make
in his
a
swimming
scene.
trunks. He told me to wait, and that it was going to be a great party, and that the other kids were running late.
No.
I was the first to show up.
What a sicko,
didn't give
man.
him any listening ears.
Oh,
when I noticed he was gaining on me,
it hurts my heart
running.
to even
I
know
made
that
it
there's
to the
people out
elevator,
here that
and
exist.
thankfully he didn't follow me in there.
Oh,
I opened
my
the door to
gosh.
my room and locked up behind me. I
Well,
was
report
scared to
him.
death and
Report
was on
him.
constant alert for this creep till the cruise was over, which I was honestly getting impatient for.
Why do these people
My aunt
not
asked
report
me
people?
how it was, but I couldn't say anything. For the rest of the trip, my cousin had all the fun in the world, but I wasn't privileged to have that because I was always on the lookout for a creepy animator who invited me for an alleged surprise party.
Bruh.
I didn't see him after that night.
He
and
needs to be
I hope for the rest
reported.
of my life, because he admittedly created my only and worst nightmare.
You see, though, by not saying that, listen, I understand the victim mentality is really, really hard to deal with. But if she let him go, if she didn't report him, he's capable of doing that to other people's kids. Other kids. That's like the stalker guy too. Same thing, man. You gotta report these people. You gotta let the people know that somebody on their staff's a creep and they doing stuff they're not supposed to do before somebody actually gets hurt. Before the next time isn't a close call, man. Always narrated to the best. Spook, thanks so much for letting me react to your videos, buddy. And you guys, go subscribe to Spook. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.